Hi everyone, I hope you're well. This is the overview of Lab 11 itself. So in this lab, you're going to start off using Spyder's console to type these Python statements in one by one. We haven't done this in a while. But then write up a description of what's going on. Okay, so let me help you get started because we haven't done this in a while. So keep in mind you're using Spyder's console. Okay, so I'm going to flip back and forth between here and no machine session. Okay, so first, okay, there we are in the console. Data equal, okay. Think for a second about what that does. It should, from the introduction video, create an empty list. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate that, I'm going to go off script and type in data, which this works in the console. This is a quick way of showing everything in the list data, but you can't use this in a program, so don't try it. Okay, then data.append 19. Data.append 19. Note here I'm using parentheses. These are square brackets. Okay, think for a second about what that does. What do you think it does? Okay, so it appends 19 to the end of the list, but since the list was empty, 19 becomes the first item in the list. Okay, so that should get you started. Don't forget that these Python statements carry all over to the second page. Okay, so that was assignment 1. Assignments 2 and 3, you're going to complete 2 missing functions, weights list and percentile, in lab11.py, which is already in your DMC 105 folder of your No Machine account. Okay, so let's take a look at that. Okay, here it is. Okay, so these are the 2 functions you're going to complete. Don't forget to indent. This function is used to convert the output from percentile, which was going to be just a weight in ounces, back to pounds and ounces so that it can be used in this part of the program. Okay. So let's take a look at what's going on. All right. So up here, the NSFG module is imported. We use that to get the NSFG data into data. And then data is used as the input to the first of the 2 functions you'll be writing, weights list. Okay, so what's going in is the NSFG data. What's coming out is a list of the birth weights, all converted from pounds and ounces to ounces. And then using that list of birth weights, your percentile function is used with the birth weights to compute the various percentiles, 25, 50, 75, and 90. Okay, and the output from the percentile function, as I mentioned here, is going to be weight in ounces, and then 2 pounds and ounces converts that to pounds and ounces, and then the pounds and ounces, as you can see, is printed. Okay. So let's talk about the 2 functions you're going to write. Okay. So weights list, coming in is the NSFG data. You're going to build a list. So let me help you get started. Okay, remember the indentation. So start from an empty list. We have an empty list. And then we're working with the NSFG data here. So we have our usual for item in data. Okay. The next few, I'm going to stop writing here. You need to clean the data. So you're working with the birth weights in pounds and ounces, just like you did in Lab 10. So just like that code you wrote in Lab 10, you're going to put two nested conditionals here to clean the data, followed by the line that you had written in Lab 10 to convert pounds and ounces to ounces. And then that weight that you have in ounces, that in Lab 10 you use to increase one of the frequency counts in the dictionary. That weight in pounds, that weight in ounces, you will append to list. Okay, then after the for loop, you'll output the list using the Python's return statement. Okay, so between what I just explained and these comments here, I think that should I hope that helps you finish this function. Then the second function you'll complete is percentile. Okay. So you have a list and the percentage for the percentile. So let's review what you have to do. This function is just a few lines of code. You will not be using a loop. List here is a list. Sort the list. Use that expression that we talked about in the lab introduction in the Socrative question to compute the position in the list. Let's go back to that. Okay, that's this statement to get the index. Again, don't use 25. And what is the name of the list? Here the list is named list. So don't use data. This should be list. This should be the percentage. So sort the list, compute the position, and then output the item at that position. Okay, so what will that look like? That'll be something like this. We get the item equal part, which would be return the name of the list and then the position, which is the index, between the square brackets. Okay, so this function is 3 lines. Sort the list, compute the index or the position, and then return the item from list at that position. Okay, so that's pretty much the complete introduction, the complete overview of the lab. Okay, so you're going to be submitting your write-up for assignment 1 and your working Lab 11 program. Okay, you all take care. Bye.